Man, we had a very interesting night and day. Today's been interesting, but last night sucked. Nothing bad happened. It was just a very bad lack of sleep. Here, that'll work. A little extreme, but sure. Hi everyone, welcome to Tuesday. Last night we went to bed on time. I even said that in the vlog. I was super excited. I was like, we're going to bed on time. Cool. Got in bed and then could not go to sleep. Why? I don't know. And we actually did technically go to sleep for a little bit. When we first get in bed, I tend to go to sleep pretty soon after. And Mal will sit up and read for a little bit, and I'll kind of be like, hey, stop, go to sleep. But I actually fell asleep while she was reading a little bit. She reads for like 20 minutes or so, hopefully. Sometimes she'll go a little bit longer, but she said that she read for about 20 minutes. I had fallen asleep, and then she rolled over, and when she did, I woke up, and she fell asleep. And then I was up for like 20 or so minutes until I was trying to get comfortable and flipped, and that woke her up. So we both slept last night for about 20 minutes, and then our brains decided, you know what you don't need? Sleep. And I'm like, I think, in fact, we do actually need that. Brain said, not really. I don't think so. And like, there wasn't any outside stimulus affecting any of this. There wasn't noises outside. The neighbor wasn't playing music. There wasn't anything happening. It was just suddenly, for reasons beyond your control, you are awake. And we tried everything. We tossed and turned. At one point, we thought maybe it just wasn't cool enough in the house, even though it was the temperature we always make it. So I got up and I adjusted the temperature. No dice. We talked for a little bit, thought maybe we could just have a little conversation and fall back to sleep. It wasn't working. It wasn't working. Now, admittedly, Mao, I think, had been a little anxious because I talked yesterday in the vlog about the fact that we saw a recently deceased copperhead on the road when we were taking a walk, and that very much stuck out in Mao's subconscious because when we were laying in bed last night, after we had already been up a while, Mal just randomly says, the gap in where the vent is, do you think a snake could get in there? And I'm like, what? She's like, the vent that connects to the wall from the dryer. She's like, there's a hole around it. It's not flush with the wall. She's like, there's a gap. Do you think a snake could get in there? And I'm like, we've lived here a year and it hasn't happened. Is it impossible? I guess no, but it hasn't happened. It probably won't happen. She's like, well, could we put something in there? It would make me feel better. And I was like, okay, if it'll make you feel better. So we shoved a washcloth in there. And to her merit, obviously I want Mal to be able to sleep. And, something technically maybe could have fit through there, but yeah, our dryer where the vent hooks to the wall is not completely flush. There's a gap around it, and it just it's just another wonderful bullet point on the shoddy craftsmanship of this house. It's been a joy finding all of the fun stuff that's wrong with this place. But we shoved a washcloth in it and ordered a wall repair kit. So that'll be here in a few days, and we can just repair it proper. But apparently that made her feel better, so we were able to go back to sleep. But again, we didn't sleep. It took forever tossing and turning, and I don't know what it was, that was contributing to that so much. Mal may have had a little anxiety about the snake thing. I don't. That's just not a big thing for me. I grew up here. I'm fully aware of what's around. I know it can be a wake-up call when you see those sorts of things out, but I've never had a snake in the house. That's never happened. When I was a kid, there was a snake on our porch. We had when I was real young, we had a screened-in front porch, and there was one day where a snake got in on that front porch, but I've never seen a snake inside the house. So, that's good. Anyway, long story short, we eventually did manage to get to sleep. But it was, I think it was like 4. So we probably got between 4 and 4.5 hours of sleep. So when we did breakfast stream this morning, we were definitely a little bit tired, but we tried to stick to that schedule. So we're making sure we hit the breakfast stream time. And then when that was done, we were like, do we push ahead, or are we going to be able to make it throughout the day? And we were like, no. So we took a little nap. And then we felt better. We started working on some things again. We also managed to take another walk today. No snakes this time around. But it sucks because sometimes everything else is going right. And even if you do your best, there's times where your brain will just be like, you know what? No sleep for you, mister. You're like, but why, brain? I've done everything right. I don't know why tonight of all nights is the night that you don't want to go to sleep. And when I went to bed, I was tired. I was really tired. And then after having slept for that little 20 minutes, I woke up and that was that. My brain was like, we did it. We slept. I'm like, no, you did. That was 20 minutes. Nope. We slept. Anyway, let me tell you some other good news. Other good news implies that the news that I just told you was good. It wasn't good, but the day has turned out all right. And again, we'll fix it. The other good news is that today we announced our podcast is starting next week. The Disc Only podcast featuring me, John, Tom, and Jared will be happening next week, next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern over on Twitch TV/ProtonJohn, John's Twitch channel. If you miss the live taping, which will happen in front of the Twitch audience, it'll then come to all of the places that a podcast would go: iTunes, Spotify, and Stitcher. I don't know what Stitcher is, but Dan says it's going to Stitcher, so I believe him. This whole thing, which has been a big joke about us playing Game Boy Player Disc Only together, is now a real thing, a real podcast, an hour long, that is going to be happening monthly. Maybe at some point in the future it will increase in how frequent it's happening, but for right now it's monthly. And the first episode happens next week. I can't believe we're doing a podcast. It's just funny to me because this literally all was born out of a joke. And now the joke is like a real thing. But hey, people seem to enjoy it, so I guess we'll be doing it next week and see what people think. And there's no there's no real like theme or anything, so it's like the Seinfeld of podcasts. There's no plan. It's just we get together and talk about whatever and see what happens. All right. I'm ended there. I don't know if you can tell, but I need a shower. I have not been doing the best job with that. Not even gonna lie. Just there's days that I should and I skip it. And I really need to shower tonight. It also doesn't help that my hair's longer. I think that's been a big part of it. Because as my hair gets longer, my hair is getting greasier. So I need a shower sooner. And I definitely need one. But I'll get one tonight. I really need to stop putting it off. It's just, it's one of those state of the world things where you just kind of give yourself a pass. And you really shouldn't, but you're trying to practice some level of self-care. Even if in some way it feels like you're doing the opposite. So I give myself permission sometimes. I'm like, I should shower now, but I will shower tomorrow. I do that a lot. But I'll shower tonight. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, let's meet back tomorrow, shall we? This is really bright. That's better.